Okay, now I think we're ready to start working on our first report. So to start our first report, let's control click into the first report link and take a look at what we have. So we're starting out with a page and one chart on it. And what we will be building, if you want to see that, you could control click and see the report that we will try to create. Let's go back to first report again. The report we will be doing our work. And I've created a couple of help elements on this page to make it a little bit easier for you to follow what I will be doing. In order to not have you go back and forth between your page that you're working on and the final page, what you can do is you can select the chart, hit delete key, and you will see a faint kind of copy of the report in the background of this page. So you will always have that as a guide with regards to what we're trying to build. Now sometimes we will delete things on the report when we didn't mean to, so if you have done any PowerPoint, you know that the way to get back is you could just click Ctrl C. Okay, as we're building our report, the first thing that we need to do is we need to resize this revenue trend chart. So we can align it with the chart that we see on the right, grab it by the left top corner, and drag it to cover that area. And now we have the chart right where we want it. Now that we've placed the chart where we want it on the report, we could try to interact with it by running mouse over different data points, and then we could see what the revenue was on this particular date. One of the good design principles when we build our stories is to follow the following. Normally, we would want to put our eyes travels from left to right and top to bottom. So we would want to put the most generic, high-level things on the top left area of the page, and then the most details somewhere to the bottom right. So in our case, we're starting with the most generic, high-level piece of information we could deliver. In this case, we just say the overall revenue for all time period is 49 billion. Then we're going to break it down by division. So again, it's kind of high level. We only have 2 divisions. And then we're going to break it down by different company. In our case, company is synonymous to a customer. Okay, let's create our revenue card. So the visual we will use to display this 49 billion is called a card. And it looks like this icon here. It says 1, 2, 3 on it. So what we will do is we will click on this card, and then we will position it to cover the card in the background so that we know that it's placed where we want it to be placed. And now what we will do is so there's several ways to do this. We could click, now that the card is selected, we can click on a checkbox, and you could play with all of those options. You could click on a revenue, and it shows up there. You could have also dragged it here into the fields, or you could just drag it right into the card itself. The next step is to create a pie chart to break down our revenue by division. So let's find a pie chart in our visualization area. So it's located right here. So we'll do the same thing. We'll just click on the chart. Alternatively, what we can do is, we know that we'll be breaking it down by division, so we will go into division and drag division on the canvas. We will resize it. And by default, you see Power BI decided that what we want to do is a table, but we will deal with that later. And now that we have this chart selected, we will click on a pie chart, and this will create our pie chart. However, we don't see the pie chart. Why? The reason we don't see a pie chart is because we don't have enough information to draw a pie chart. So how do we add the piece of information that's missing? Well, we need to click on the revenue and drag it over into the values bucket for the chart. make sure that the chart is selected, otherwise you may not see these options here. Now that I've added revenue, you see that I do have my pie chart. I have my divisions, red and green, but it doesn't really, it doesn't really look red and green here. So what we probably want to do is change the colors. Okay, let's change the colors. In order to do this, let's make sure that our chart is selected, and then we can click on the format icon right below our charts options. And now we could click on data colors, and you will see why the colors come out the way we see them in the chart. So let's pick a red color here. And then for the green, in this particular color theme, we don't have a good green color, so we could click on custom color and pick the green color. You guys could play with different colors here, but maybe something like this here. So that's pretty green to me. Let's see what else we need to do. We can resize our chart to peek into the background. Alternatively, we could just move it over to take a look at what we're trying to build. So what we want to do is we want to move this portion of the chart that's called the legend to the top. So again, this option will be somewhere in formatting. So we click here, we click on the legend, and then we have a position. So we're going to say top. And then we can also pick whether we want it top center. In this case, we're just going to say top. The other thing you will see is that this does not really spell out the word division completely. So what we need to do is we need to help Power BI display it properly, because this report will be displayed potentially on different types of devices, your iPad, your phone, or a desktop. Power BI is trying to guess the best it can as to how to format these things. So in this case, the way to fix this little formatting is to change the text size from 10 to 9. So once you change the text size to 9, this should display properly. Okay, we're 3/4 of the way there. Now we just need to create the last chart, revenue by company. In order to create our final chart, you guys should find the company attribute in our model, drag it into the canvas, and Power BI decided that the best way to present that would be a table. Align it with their chart below, so everything is aligned the way we want it to be aligned. And this chart, again, if you want to take a peek, you could just resize. So in this time, what we'll create is a stacked bar chart. So make sure that this chart is selected, and then click on a stacked bar chart in the top left. And this will turn it again into an empty chart. And now you guys already know why, because we know that we're going to be breaking this chart data out by company, but we haven't specified what will be the measure or the metric that this chart will be displaying. In our case, it's revenue. So you can just drag revenue and drop it into the value placeholder. And now you see the chart show up. The last thing we need to do to finish this report is to show the individual data points for each bar. So the way we will do that is, again, make sure that the chart is selected, click into the formatting options, and then in data labels, make sure that it's on. And now you guys should see the report the way it's intended to be. If you want to check, control click on a checkbox, and you should see something that looks pretty similar. And right away I see that I forgot something, so let's talk about that in the next. What I forgot to add to our first report is a slicer. And we need to spend a little bit of time talking about what that does and why we have it. Power BI has a lot of similarities to PowerPoint, but it also has obviously a lot of differences. PowerPoint is a static report with a snapshot of some information. Power BI is dynamic, it's interactive. So in this particular case, we have our data spans from March 31 2012 all the way to May 31 of 2016. So what we want to be able to do is we want to be able to specify the slice of data which we want to be included in into the report. Also, I want to show you another feature of this chart. Is before I deal with the slicer, you see that as I was clicking around trying to figure out why my pages are different, I noticed that all of a sudden my companies are not sorted by revenue anymore. So that option is controlled. And sometimes you'll need to remember which options are available through the setup and which options are available through the menu. Sorting actually is an option that's available in the menu. So if I want to resort this, I could click on the 3 buttons in the menu, click on sort by, click on revenue, and this will then reorder things. And I can also specify if I want it to be ascending or descending. So this little yellow icon here specifies that it's by default ordered descending. If I want to order it ascending, I could just use that as an option. For now, I'm going to just go back into the default one. We will have a lot more conversations about how we can set up filtering and interactivity between different charts. For now, let's just build a simple slicer, and then we'll jump into details later. So the first thing we need to do is we need to give ourselves a little bit of room for the slicer. So we will click on a filter on the title element of the page, and then we will slide it out to the left so that we will create more room to the right. By the way, you might be asking, how did I add this title altogether? The way you add a title is you can click on Insert, and then you click on a text box, and then that text box appears here, and you could type whatever you need in this box, much like you would do in PowerPoint. You could specify a different size and also different color for your titles. If you don't want to see a background, you can turn it off by making sure that it's selected. Turn the background. Now background becomes transparent. You could double click, make it white. Okay, and this is how you add titles, pictures, and so forth. So we'll be doing a lot more of this later. For now, I just wanted to point it out so that you have an idea of how those things are created. And now we can finally finish, now that we've added room to this page, we can finally finish this report by creating a slicer. Slicer is this little element. In my case, it's in a second to last row. So it's got a little filter icon next to it. I could click on this, move it over to the area where I want it to be, resize it. Now we will add our time to the slicer. Again, make sure that it's selected. And all you do is click on the date and drag it into the field. And that creates a slicer. We will format it a little bit more by clicking on formatting options. So it's really personal preference as to what that slicer should look like. Right now, just for the sake of the exercise, let's turn off the slicer header. And you could play with this as you build this thing, so the word date will go away. Normally this is pretty self-explanatory that we're working with dates. I also would like to turn off the background, which makes it very hard to see. So I'm going to go back to data inputs and change the font color to white. Okay, I can also make the font a little bit bigger so it's easier for me to see. And I'll just center this a little bit as well so that everything is lined up perfectly. And now if I check back with my goal report, I think I'm pretty close to where I want to be. So don't forget, as you're working with these labs, don't forget to save. So the way you can save your progress is you could hit Control S, or you can click File, Save, or Save As if you want to keep another copy of this exercise.